Supernatural Season 10, Episode 15, The Things They Carried. I was excited for this episode because initially I thought we were going to be getting back into the main story, and unfortunately we didn't. It was another filler episode, technically. But even as a filler episode, I thought it could still have some main components to it that would come out of the Cole storyline. Like it was great to see Cole come back because I was pretty sure he would have to come back at some point, and they even kind of did it in the preview where one of the really big things we found out about his character in the last episode that he was in was finding out that his father was like this weird creature that we've never actually seen before, and it was obviously at some point where, we didn't actually see it in the series, we didn't see it happen, and Dean never encountered a creature like that, and if I remember right, the creature was taking people's kidneys only, or their livers. It was one of those. I think it was their livers, and it would eat their livers only, and that was it. And that's pretty much how it sustained itself. And he'd never seen anything before, and he'd never seen anything like that afterwards. And I kind of thought that's why it was going to be a main episode. It wouldn't be a main episode as far as continuing the Mark Kane stuff, which we obviously saw nods to, where they're still trying to figure things out. But it would give us sort of a new story or something that even if it didn't become a big role in this season, it would at least be hinted at and we'd get some explanation, and it would kind of be introduced and talked about a little bit, and then it would be like the really big thing maybe next season or something with whatever this random new creature is. And it was weird that really didn't seem to come up. Like I didn't think that they like Dean obviously wouldn't have any information. He kind of does his thing like, all right, I dealt with the monster and I'm moving on to the next one. So I wouldn't really expect Dean to have had any answers, but for Cole to have that little bit of information or, something, obviously they could write anything they want. I was really looking forward to getting some information on that, and we'll probably get that the next time Cole is in the series, or maybe it'll happen when he's not in the series, and that'll be how they bring him back in, where Sam or Dean does find this creature again, or find something at least similar to it, where they take like one specific organ for whatever odd reason, and that's all they need to survive. So I was kind of disappointed, mostly in the fact that didn't really come up as much as I was hoping for. Like even without it connecting to the main story, that's all I really needed, because it's like this brand new thing they introduced this season, and I was really looking forward to it. It was like they have Cole in it, they find the answers, he gets answers as well. It just made perfect sense. And that didn't really happen. I was like, that kind of sucks. It seems like a missed opportunity, and it's probably because they didn't do it in this episode because they already have it planned for a future episode, either with Cole or, like I said, that'll be the way to get Cole back into the series for like the third time. But it was still a good episode. I actually still enjoyed it. We got to see like one of the older creatures where with the weird worm thing, and in this one it was actually pretty simple. It was just like, it was transferring bodies and made people dehydrated. It was similar, but it wasn't the same. Like there was no ooze in this one. It made people like incredibly dehydrated, and it like if they didn't drink anything, their skin dried up like crazy, and they looked really gross and stuff. But it was fun. Like I enjoyed the episode. I really like the elements of the ending. Actually, I think I enjoyed that the most because they were going through this episode, and it's like they work with Cole, and he wants them to not do what they normally do, which is boom, problem solved, and we're out of town. He wanted to save his friend, and so that was kind of the focus for him. Was like, all right, I gotta stick to you guys like glue, because I want to actually save my friend, not have you guys hunt him, and poof, he's dead and he can't kill anyone else. And it was fun to watch that happen, where they were actually able to save Cole when he kind of messed up and he got infected himself, but they couldn't save his friend because they didn't know what was going to happen with Cole, and obviously they'd already lost his friend Kid, so he's gone off in the wind. So Sam finds him at his house, and it's like they just lock him up, and they don't have that easy process to just boom, here's a fire and then we smoke him out or anything. It wasn't as simple as that, and he has like crazy super strength, preferably slightly enhanced strength pretty much, and Sam unfortunately wasn't able to stop him without flat out killing him, and that really sucked, and it was kind of saddening, and it even affected Sam. Like, he just wasn't able to do it, and Cole understood that, and Dean, kind of tried to help him at the end. But it was kind of interesting. Like, it was one of those half and half things where, fortunately, it did work, and they were able to at least save Cole. But Cole did have to deal with the fact that his friend died. Obviously, I believe his wife's name was Gemma. She had to deal with the fact that her husband died, and she has to tell this fake story, which basically would like even destroy his image, which I thought they would talk about. I thought Cole would say something about that when he said the story she would have to go with is that her husband went crazy and he had to kill her. I thought he would mention, like, everything that he worked for, and everything he did and lived for as a war veteran. All of that was kind of destroyed with this final image, and it wasn't him, like him losing his mind. It was just this weird, crazy monster from literally across the world, and it just turned him into this monster, and he unfortunately had to be killed. And I kind of wish they, even if it was just a little line, I kind of wish they did touch on that, because I think that was another thing that made it a big deal to me, because it is one of those things where, and Cole was kind of the outside person in this episode, where he mentions all these things go down, and you guys are just saving people left and right from all these monsters that, people can't even wrap their heads around. And he mentions, like, at least I get a medal for my efforts, and you guys kind of just keep moving on, and that's pretty much it. And I thought it was a good point. Like, it was something that is very true. Like, people don't know that they're being saved by Sam and Dean, and even, other hunters out there as well. And then, you have this ending where it's like, because of all these monsters and things like that, it's just the real world image where Kit just came back from war and he just had like PTSD and tried to kill his wife. And that's the image. That's kind of his legacy. Like, if something bad happens, that's what everyone sees at the very end, because it's the last thing that happened, and then he died. So it was something I wish they touched on it, even if it was like one little line. But it was definitely an interesting ending, and I enjoyed it for just the mental aspect of it. And I actually really did enjoy this filler, even though I do feel like it was a missed opportunity with them somehow getting answers. I didn't think Dean would have any answers, but maybe if Cole was searching and he found something slightly similar, he found something, similar to what his dad became, and they just happened to be fighting a slug type monster that was similar to something else. But I do wish that they had that. But overall, I definitely did enjoy this episode. It's nice just to have the show back, and I actually think, despite the fact that this was a filler, which I wasn't expecting at all, it was actually one of the fillers I really did enjoy this season. It was cool to see Cole come back into the show as someone who trusts Sam and Dean. He stuck with them because he didn't want his friend to die, but he believed in them. He actually helped them out to solve things to help his friend, and he trusted them when Dean was like, I want to help you get this monster out and stuff, and they worked together. And it was actually pretty cool. I really did enjoy it, despite like what I feel personally was a missed opportunity, and the simple fact that it was yet another filler, which ultimately, it's still in the back of my mind, like, it's another filler. But it, at least it was a good filler. Like, I can definitely say that I did enjoy the episode, and I am excited for what we're going to be getting next week, and some of the stuff we're going to be getting with the Marky Kane and everything, and they're going to be bringing Metatron back, and he obviously working with him somehow, because in like the big trailer where they kind of combine a bunch of episodes together, there's like the one line Metatron says, like, I thought it would work, or like it worked before, something like that. So they're going to be getting Metatron back, and unfortunately making deals with him to try to save Dean. But yeah, it's supernatural. They always end up having to do something they don't want to do. So we're going to have to do that. We're going to see Crowley, at least, in the next episode. We might not get to see Cass, and I doubt Metatron will be in there. But we will at least see Crowley. We might see his mother, whose name I can't think of at all right now. But we might get to see both of them, and I'm excited to see how that stuff plays out. If we do get to see his mother, what is she doing now that she's taken off, and, how integrated is the coven that's kind of trying to hunt her down, how integrated is it now, and, depending on how much time has passed between episodes. But I like this one. I'm excited for the next one. And, of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this one, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And I actually have two questions for you guys. One, I want to know, what do you guys think of Cole's return as, kind of the guy who's working with Sam and Dean compared to the guy who's trying to kill Dean now? And number two is, what did you guys think about the ending? Like the way they made it very personal and emotional for Sam. Like it didn't have to be specific to Sam. It could have been the same way if it was Dean, or if for whatever reason they were both knocked out or something and Cole had to kill his friend himself and they couldn't do it. I think it was just well done. I thought it was a nice personal touch that we don't really get too often where, because normally they don't have a third person come in and say like, hey, this is my friend that I've known since, I was like in my 20s or something. I want to save his life. I want you guys to do what you do, but I also want to actually save my friend. I don't just want him killed so that he can't kill anyone else. And unfortunately, they couldn't do that. And they saw the effects of that, not only from this third person, but from this guy's wife. And, they don't see his family, but they know how that goes. So, I want to know what you guys thought, because obviously I actually enjoyed the way they did it. But I want to know what you guys thought about it, as well as, Cole's return and possibly how he might return again. So please comment below, let me know. And thanks for watching.